You know, a couple of weeks ago, I did a podcast on how to be prepared for last-minute speaking gigs, and I had a couple of you ask me for a checklist of just everything you need to be prepared for a speaking engagement so that you can just kind of go down and check it all off. So that's what we're going to do today. I am Michelle Sissom. I want to welcome you to Entrepreneurs Taking Action, and today we're going to talk about your speaker checklist, to be prepared for your speaking engagements. So I have 5 things on the checklist. Number 1 is to have your speaker sheet completed. So your speaker sheet should include your talk descriptions. There's actually a podcast that I recorded maybe a couple of months ago that talks about every piece that needs to be on your speaker sheet. So number 1, you need to have your speaker sheet done. Number 2, what are the call to action options for each of your talks? So if you get that clear early on, if you've got 3 talks, then what are the opportunities from those talks? Some of them may be paid opportunities, so maybe you sell a product or a program. Some of them may be non-paid opportunities. What are you going to do if someone says that you can't make an offer when you give this talk? Are you going to send them to a strategy session? Are you going to do a drawing? If you're going to do a drawing, what's it going to be for? Get these things outlined ahead of time, okay, so that there's no thinking on your part or your assistant's part, by the way, because when speaking engagement opportunities show up, your assistant should be able to go down the checklist and say, okay, great, just tell me which talk you want to do, and then I'll get everything together. So number 2 is knowing what your call to actions are. Number 3 is to create the script for your talk, right? So outline the talk. What is it? You want to be able to do this talk in several different increments. Sometimes you'll be asked to do 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour. So I design each talk so that I can do it in 1 hour, or I can squeeze it down and do it in 10 minutes, right? So what pieces do you need to take out when you're going to do it in 10 minutes versus 60 minutes? When you're creating that script for your talk, there's some important pieces to make sure you hit in there. Number 1, you got to have that attention grabbing something in the beginning. Are you opening with a joke? Are you making them laugh? Are you making them cry? Are you opening with a statistic that wows them? What is it? What are you grabbing their attention with? The second piece is that you need to understand your premise. And what is your premise? It is what you want them to take away. What's the big one thing that you're trying to drive home, right? What is the thing you believe so wholeheartedly in that's why you're doing this talk? That's your premise. Number 3 in there is that you need to be making probably 3 points. I can do 3 points in a 10-minute talk or a 60-minute talk. It just means that I get to expand. Don't attempt to make 10 points in a 10-minute talk. You don't have enough time to do everything you need to do. So I like to look for 3 points, and don't forget the stories in there. So you're making 3 points, but you want to be telling some stories along the way to kind of cement those, because what people will remember is the stories. Then you need a transition into whatever it is that your offer is, whether that is a paid offer or a not paid offer. Then I close with why they should listen to me for this offer. Right? So actually I do the transition, and then I do the why should you listen, and then I give the offer. So that's just a quick rundown on how to design your script for your talk. And then so 1 was the speaker sheet, 2 was knowing your call to actions, 3 was creating your actual script for your talk, 4 is to create the talk collateral. So what collateral do you have? For each talk, I usually design a handout, I design an order form, and then I design the PowerPoints, which is number 5. Right? So number 4 is your collateral. So that may be the other things that I have, or I have postcards. I have my how bad do you want it card. How bad do I want it is what it says, that I hand out to everyone at my talks so that they can keep that on their desk in front of them, reminding them to do it whenever they don't necessarily want to do it, right? So what are those pieces of collateral that you're going to hand out? Number 5, as I said, is to create the PowerPoint. Now, if you're not a PowerPoint user, don't worry about it. For the rest of us, I personally like to have a PowerPoint created for each talk that I'm doing. I have it created in a 60-minute version and a 30-minute version. And then if I need, I can bring it down to 10 minutes. I can do my 30-minute version in 10 minutes. I know what to leave out. So Couple of real tips I want to give you on the PowerPoints. Number one is that there should be very few words on each slide, and your print should be really large for people to be able to see. There is nothing worse than seeing someone have slides up that has bullet point after bullet point after bullet point after bullet point. God awful. Do not do that. The second thing I want you to know is that you should use lots of images, lots and lots and lots of images on your slides, not all just words, okay? People they connect the image to what you're saying, so it's extremely important. And then the third thing is that you should put your contact info at the bottom of each of the slides. So on the bottom of my PowerPoint slides, there's just this little red line, because that's my color, and it says decisiveminds.com on one side, and it has my phone number on the other side. So there you go. This is your checklist to be prepared. These are all the things you need to go out and speak. Right now, listen. If you're just getting started, just get that speaker sheet done, get those talk descriptions done, and get out there and book a speaking engagement. Once that speaking engagement is booked, then you create the rest of the talk, right? Then you create the PowerPoint. Then you create the handouts. Don't do any of that until you get that speaking engagement booked. All right, this is Michelle Sissom. Oh, I said I would give you the link to where you can get this information, where you can get this checklist. It's decisiveminds.com/prepared. decisiveminds.com/prepared. All right, this is Michelle saying be decisive. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.